one NBA star needs to stop talking. Okay, and last night the Pacers win Game 3, and look, 81% of the time when you go up 2-1 in the NBA Finals, you win the series. And great things we talked about how motivated the Pacers are. Look, the two big reasons that they don't get credit for why the Pacers are up 2-1 and why they make the run through this playoffs is, look, they have a lot of guys that play with chips on their shoulder because they were overlooked at some point in their career. Whether you are Haliburton, who feeds off of being labeled as overrated, right? You have Obi Toppin, who couldn't get on the floor with the Knicks, right? You have whether it's Nesmith or Nembhard, you have T.J. McConnell, who's been overrated his entire, or overvalued, who's been undervalued his entire career, right? You have Mathurin, who wants to start, right? Really, coming up at the end of his rookie contract, I can only score 27 points in 4 minutes so many times. I really want. You have a lot of guys on this Pacers team who have been overlooked, and they play that great. And the hunger they have on the court, you see how they want to win. They are always better conditioned the final few minutes. SGA talked about it today. I was a little dinged up a little tired at the end of the game.
They beat him up.
That's what happened to Brunson at the end of games, right? The stars get tired, and the Pacers, because of their rotation, they're just ready to go. They're always hungry. But then Haliburton said this last night when he's asked about the people in the media talking about the NBA Finals, breaking it down, and he had a very pointed message for people who have not been on the Indiana Pacers bandwagon from the beginning.
The commentary is always going to be what it is. Most of the time, the talking heads on the major platforms, I couldn't care less, honestly. Like, what do they really know about basketball? The commentary is what it is at this point. It doesn't matter. We're here in the NBA Finals, 2 wins away from an NBA championship. So, just got to stay with it, put my head down, keep working. And as a group, we just got to keep learning from our mistakes, seeing where we can get better, and take it a day at a time.
This is where I just want him to stop talking for 2 reasons. Number one, okay, no one is saying you don't belong. No one is saying they're simply picking the teams that are better. Right? You had an underwhelming regular season. Of course, people are going to pick the Cavs. They're the best record in the Eastern Conference. Of course, people are going to pick the Knicks. They're going to talk about the Knicks a lot. The Knicks in New York, they're powerful. They're popular. Of course, when you get to the finals, people are going to pick the Thunder because the Thunder were the best team overall in the regular season. No one's saying that you don't belong there. They're simply picking the other team to win. Okay, so this whole narrative that he has about, they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, right. Pick the better teams. Picking the better teams to win doesn't have anything to do with it. Okay, but the second thing is this. Okay, I want to say this. Dude, and I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think about what we say. Look, JJ Redick can't stand me. We know this. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
he's not alone.
Here's my issue with this.
Yeah.
Haliburton and the Pacers thrive on being told you're not good enough. We don't think you can win this series. They thrive on it. They thrive on this. Haliburton thrives on being undervalued and being overrated. The 13 people that said he was overrated. He has thrived on this, and I see his performance over the course of the playoffs. When he is motivated, he plays great. But you can't sit here and thrive on that and then come out and say, oh, you know what you're talking about. No, you can't have it both ways, right? Either you don't like it and it's something, but you can't sit here and say, oh, I don't like it. Meanwhile, it fuels you. You would have no fuel. You might not be in the NBA Finals if you didn't have people picking against you. If everybody picked you in the first round against the Bucks, who knows you're there? Because I don't know if you're motivated enough to play. If you weren't voted most overrated player in the NBA by those handful of players, I don't know that you're this good. Maybe you just disappear in the playoffs, but clearly I know you use this as motivation, and that's great. But don't sit here and say, now, oh, you guys are dumb, don't know what you're talking about. You need this as fuel, right? This is the person who is really, really hungry. Someone brings them food, they eat it, and then say, this was terrible. This was the worst meal I ever had. But you ate it. Now you feel good. Yeah, but I didn't like it at all. But you ate it. You could have not eaten it. You could have asked for something else, but you still ate it. Yeah, but like he wants to have both sides of it and say, yeah, I want to just wear this as a badge, but I also really want to say I don't need it, even though I really need it. Like, pick a lane. Pick a lane.
Well, but that's the thing. In saying y'all don't know what you're talking about, it's that fuel to some degree of what keeps him aflame, right? We had his dad was banned, and then his dad comes back, so he's got that motivation so he can look up and say, hey, Dad, did you see I scored? Hi, Dad. Look, you're not getting a Van Pelt apology or any of that nonsense from us. I mean, that's just not going to happen. The math bore it out. This wasn't just punditry of, throwing darts or I take this side, so you have to take the other side. No, it was algorithms with lots of variables to say, you know what, this is a better team. They're just as deep. They run away and hide. Guess what? They haven't. And we talked about that a lot with the Thunder coming into the playoffs, the lack of close games, the fact that you had this average margin of victory. Would that come back to bite them on occasion in the playoffs? And yes, it has. And that the Pacers on the other side, we've talked about it since round one, going back to Milwaukee, talking about this squad, their depth, and their resiliency. And that has shown up time and again. And for Tyrese Haliburton, I think by just, he gets this opportunity to call everybody an idiot. You don't know basketball and all of that, which he'll fuel to say, look, I made all the stupid people look really dumb for picking against me. It's a long play.
I get it. I understand.
You don't
that.
have to like it.
No, but it's not being consistent. You don't have any logic. You have because you're saying, hey, we use this as motivation, right? Okay, great. But now don't insult me that you say, oh, you don't know, you guys, nobody knows what you're talking about. Okay, first of all, no one is saying you don't belong. No one's saying you're terrible. It's just the other team gets picked. Well, you got to pick one of two teams.
Well,
right?
there were a bunch of folks
that's how it goes.
That did predict them to get swept off out of here fast. Well,
okay.
So he's going to feed into those folks,
right? I get
which is great. So listen to the noise.
Use it.
It clearly works for you.
Use it, but don't sit here and try to insult us. Say, oh, nobody knows they're you guys need to be quiet. No one knows we don't listen. No, dude, you needed this because honestly, I'm serious. If he's not voted overrated, and I don't know that the Pacers have this run because we've seen so many games where he has just been a guy, and it's why is Tyrese Haliburton not more involved? You see the talent he has. I don't know that they're this far. They probably get knocked out against the Knicks, but no, we're using this motivation for it. You should thank everybody. He should be out there saying, you know what? This is a better thing. Hey, you know what? All the stuff that's being said, all you people out there. Thank you. Thank you for doubting us.
Being a heel,
Thank you for doubting us. Thank you for thinking we can't win because we use this and this helps us. And now we're 2 wins from the NBA championship. Thank you very much. Instead of insulting us, saying thank you because this was a gift that was given to him and the pay because they play and they use that chip on their shoulder better than any team I've seen in the NBA the last few years.
But one of the greatest WWF heels of all time was Ravishing Rick Rude. How did he start every speech? Thank you for coming out. Now, this is for all the ladies, you fat, stupid, slow-witted, lazy people you watch as I, take off my robe, right? It was the insulting, but you got into it because, man, that guy's a jerk. And Tyrese Haliburton, to some degree, is doing that because he wants the people with the poison pen to have to begrudgingly write those columns when they hoist the Larry O'Brien.
Telling you, man, it's embarrassing. Just stop. Just go play. Just go play at this point. Worry about all that crazy stuff after. But no, I want to make sure. But you use this as motivation. Yeah, but I'm still. Oh, you're right. It doesn't make any sense. That's what I was hoping he would get to.
No, he wasn't going to get there.
Or stand up and just say, hey, yeah, thank you for all the fuel. Thank you for all the hate. Thank you for that. I mean,
he holds up a picture of SVP. That guy apologized. He's my friend. I don't know.